All right, so this is part 7 of our Let's Create series, where I'm going to try and recreate the very first game or project. It certainly wasn't a game that I ever made, but trying to do it a lot better. So, and in this one, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on the lighting. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to build the lighting. So I haven't done that yet. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to build lighting only. And then I'm going to pause the recording because this is going to take a few minutes. So I'll see you back here in a second and we can see how the basic lighting looks. Okay, that did take a while, but this is what we've got. Obviously, we want to get rid of that light and set this up. Now, these are very bright. So let's hit play. And what you can see is we're not actually getting much light in. So like bounce lighting and stuff like that. It's very direct. It's very harsh. Right now, it's not looking great. We can't see a lot of the stuff that we've made, and for some reason, it's lighting this plane up in a really, really weird way. I can't tell if because obviously I'm supposed to be able to see through that. So we're going to go have a look at some of that stuff. What is going on here? Access none. Set simulate physics. Why? Why haven't you access none trying to set simulate physics for the female target mesh? That is what happens if we just plug that in? Maybe it's the capsule component we want to do it for. Let's have a look. But we can't see now because of this. I don't know why that's lighting it. It should still be transparent. Oh, I don't get it. That has fixed it, but I can't see now if it's working or not. So let me just... What was it called? Force field. What? Okay. Move it over there. So when I hit play, I should still be able to see these. No. It isn't right. Anyway, I'm going to ignore them errors. And we'll play around with that later. Leave it as it was. Right, so lighting, that's what we're doing. Forget about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because I've placed all these lights, but it was probably not the best idea to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all of the spotlights except for spotlight 1. And I'm going to find spotlight 1. Then we're going to do all the work here and then copy it over, right? So I just made a little start with this, but I'm going to go through it. So what I've done is I've set the attenuation... No. Back. I've set the outer cone angle here to 100. Okay, so that's giving us this spread out look to here. You can see it's just like a circle. If we lower that, you'll see it becomes a cone. But we want it to be roughly straight, so it's giving us the maximum sort of coverage for our light. Then we want to... Attenuation radius is how much is going to be affected, so I'm going to turn that up a little bit as well. Inner cone angle, we want to play around with that. I'm going to set it to about there. Right, and then so the light bounces around and we can see the ceiling and stuff like that. I'm going to set this indirect lighting intensity to 7. Let's just see what that does. And then I'm going to build the lighting again. Build lighting only. Is the build quality set to preview? Build lighting only. And again, I'm going to pause the video while we wait for that to build. All right, so that didn't take too long that time because it only had 1 to do. And also, there aren't that many objects, and it is dependent on the amount of objects. So if we hit play now, You can see that this one light now we're starting to see the walls more. We can see a little bit of the ceiling, but I'm just gonna turn that intensity up again. So click on the light, indirect light and intensity. I'm gonna set that to 9, and then build again. Build lighting only. I'm not going to pause the video this time because it didn't take too long last time. Um, let's see if we get any better lighting out of this. And then once we've done this, we're just going to copy these lights and make sure that your lights are static. Okay, static lights, you can have as many as you want and they can overlap with each other. Oh, okay, so we've got darker. No, that is better. Starting to see more detail. We don't want it super duper duper bright, but we want there to be some fall off, so you get to see some of the walls and the ceiling. It's not completely black. Right. So yeah. So static lights, you can have as many as you like. They can overlap each other as much as they like. That's a stationary light, should I say? Static. Stationary. There are a few more limitations with that. But I'm not 100% sure. I don't do that much with lighting, so I'm not really sure what the major differences are. But obviously, movable lights are lights that can move. They are really intensive on your processing because you're having to update the light map in real time. So you don't want too many of those in your scene. So let's go to top-down view and grab our light, Alt and Shift. We can move to the next actual lamp, which is there, and then we're just going to repeat that process. All of these lights. Now, because they're static, they can overlap with each other, and we're not going to get errors. It's not just going to not build some of the lighting, which is what happens if it's stationary. Oh, I've set them all to be movable, which is the last thing we want. So I'll just undo that. Do that, and then set that back to static, and then just do that again. You just want to place these where you've placed the lights. Does that make sense? Just line all those up nicely. Okay. And then, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Then go to perspective view. Let's just see that they're all in. We didn't miss one. Okay, and then we're going to build the lighting again. I am going to pause the video. This will probably take a little bit longer. I'll see you in a second. All right, so now we have something that is starting to look really nice. Okay, so the lighting is starting to look great. We've actually can see the ceiling and stuff. We can see the light is bouncing around. Still got problems with our light maps, and I know there is a way as a setting to change. You've got to change the resolution of the light map or something like that, and that's going to help with the bleeding. We'll go and look into that. I've totally forgot where that is, but we'll go and look into that in a minute. What's the problem with this still? Yeah, look at that. What is going on? What is going on with that? Why is that totally blacked out? So if I drag in the force field, put it there, hit play, where's the force field? I just dragged one in. Where is it? Right there. Why is it? Oh, it's because it's not set to be visible. Let's just set this one to be visible. Can I do that? Rendering. What? Why isn't it letting me? Why isn't it letting me do that? I'm confused. Oh, it's there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place a light in the level. Where's that force field that I've just placed in there? Oh, something weird's happening. I might need a reboot because some weird stuff's going down. Why is it only viewable from one side? Okay, I have no clue what's going on there. Maybe that's the problem. Force field visible. Rotate it, see if that helps. Okie dokie. Having all kinds of problems now. Problems that I don't understand. Oh, well, it works now. Right, but that wants to be behind. Okay, so we want. Let's set that back up to be visible, invisible, and then I just want this to spawn a little further back. Maybe like that. Hit play. Why can we see? Oh, because it's still not spawning far enough back. We don't want to be able to see through it. All right, we're going to wrap this up in a second. Really happy with the lighting. We might have to make it a little bigger. Yeah, needs to be taller. So go into force field, stretch it out like that. Okay, compile. Perfect. All right. We might actually, so it logically makes sense, have to spawn another force field over here. So it's just this part that gets sucked out. Then you could repressurize the ship, sort of, technically. But we'll look into that later. So we'll just call it a day for this one here. In fact, we've got a couple more minutes left. Is there anything else we can look at? What I might do actually is have some of this lighting. Like one of the problems we have as well is that these are not under the lights. So and I don't really want to place them under there because I need them close to the wall so they both fly out. Let's just try this. Oh, what happened then? The wall didn't. Oh, because the force isn't close enough now to blow out the wall. So what I think I'll do is I'll just place like a light there, just because. So let me just Control Z that back, and then if we just get a spotlight. Now you see this in games. There's like a light that's just randomly there, and it doesn't make a great deal of sense, but you need it because you want to be able to see what's going on. So these I'm going to make out like a catching the light much more than they actually would be. But that's fine. When we hit play, it should be fine. It should make sense. Like it's not going to look odd. It'll just people think, oh, it's just being lit by that, and then poof, excellent. That looks so cool. All right then, we'll call it a day for this, and I'll see you in the next video.